I know that you've got something that you'd like to talk about and show us. You've got an actual drone, don't you?
Well, thanks. Yes, this is something we've been working on for quite a few years. I don't know if you can see it here, but basically what it is, it's something very unusual where we take these squirrel cage fans called cross-flow fans, and instead of propellers or jet engines, we take these, embed them in a very thick wing, and this is the whole thing. There's no extra wing or body, and very large cargo capacity, and literally you can take this and throw it in the air. So one of the things you can do with drones is you start to look at these very unusual type vehicles that normally people might be scared of if you had to put a person inside, but there's no one inside. So it's basically like a radio-controlled airplane.
Bill Vass, come in on the topic of drones. I know that you have some expertise also in the defense industry. You were the Chief Information Officer for the Department of Defense. You also worked for the Department of the Army. What is the outlook right now for drones as a commercial enterprise?
So I think that's growing, in areas where it's very expensive to collect data, or you need sort of long, boring, dangerous tasks to be completed, like going through hurricanes, or long duration of doing patrols along borders, or oil and gas exploration. The autonomous systems are a fantastic way to accomplish that at a reduced cost and increased profit margin and reduced risk.
Joe Kummer, come in on the topic of the cost of these devices. What does the one that you have estimated cost, and what about the actual systems behind it? They're no good if they're not connected to some kind of telecommunications or software system that can analyze the data.
Right. So, the cost of something like this, this is a Kevlar carbon fiber body, and that's really what we do. We make carbon fiber products. You're probably looking in the few $1,000s for the vehicle itself. But you're right. The communications, the uplinks, the ground station, the software, that all has to be there. Basically, you can have any body, but then you have to have some sort of sensor package. And from what I've seen, that's where a lot of the focus is on developing these, the software and the hardware to go along with that. And that can be a lot more expensive than the vehicle itself, quite frankly.
Bill Vass, Liquid Robotics, what does the company aim to do?
So basically, our customers are anyone who moves across the ocean or operates in it. And it's very expensive to collect data in the ocean. And the old saying, business saying goes, you manage what you measure. There are trillions of dollars of commerce move across the ocean, and resources come out of it. A huge amount of the commodities market is controlled by weather, and weather is mostly controlled by the ocean, and we don't have nearly enough data to be able to manage that. So what our company does is operate missions and data collection for oil and gas, national, international security, science, and marine construction to reduce their risk and reduce their costs and increase the density of the data to increase their decision so that they can make higher profit margins and do a better job collecting their resources or operating in those environments.
Bill Vass, is it also to put assets where they're needed and able to connect the various structures? For example, in the oil and gas industry, you got to make sure that the right pipe shows up at the right time in the right place.
Yeah, so we can go out and place sensors. We can communicate to those sensors underwater. We can transmit that information. One of the things about our autonomous platform is we have it's basically a floating data center. We've got a tremendous amount of high-performance, low-power computing on board, so we're able to collect very large volumes of data, analyze them on board, and then send the data back, because we're out, thousands of miles offshore, operating for years at a time, and that's something that's kind of unique about our platform. We harvest all our energy from the environment, which allows us to operate. We set the world record crossing the Pacific, the longest duration ever traveled by an autonomous surface vehicle from the United States to Sydney. Well, to Australia. So I think there's a lot that needs to be done out there, and automating that environment and increasing the data you collect there is a boom to business.